Alright, so this is Watchpoint Gibraltar on defense. Okay, so at the beginning of the match here, there's many different options for sentry turrets. One of the options is you can like set up a trap right here when enemies walk down this ramp here. Something like this. All four of those turrets will be able to attack enemies at once as they walk down the ramp. Alright, so other spots for turrets, if you want to put one on the payload, this is a good spot right there.
Sentry deployed.
There's these bushes here that you can put turrets in, but keep in mind that these bushes don't appear for everybody, depending on your video settings. If you have low model detail on low, these bushes will not appear. Alright, so going into this room here, you can secure this room by putting some turrets in here like this.
From light
one over here in the corner. Two above this door here like that. Going out here, you can put some like along this wall here, so when enemies come around this corner here, you can throw one in that bush there like that. Going back in here, well, you could throw like one down here also.
Defenses in place.
Going back in here, you can throw like some up here. Doing so by placing them up here like this protects enemies coming through here or through there. So it's a good strategy doing that. Going through here, this is probably the first potential spot for a teleporter is right here. Or like facing this direction. This is probably the riskiest spot at the beginning of the game also for that. So if you do choose to put your teleporter there, make sure this area is heavily guarded. Possibly even have like a Torbjorn turret here or like a Bastion hanging out around here also. This is also a good spot to spam orbs. Many different areas to shoot orbs at. Like so. Right here on this bridge, if you sidestep out here a little bit, you can place turrets on the side here like this. But one tip I have is that try to place them as low as possible. Like don't place them too high up because when they're lower down, they tend to hit a much larger area down below. So try to place them as low as possible. And this is also a pretty effective strategy to do this as well.
Turret in place.
Going in this room here, you have a lot of options for turrets. You can put like 4 on the corners over here. There's some ridges over here. There's a ridge right here and up here. Good spots for turrets. Little ridge up here even. And now this is another spot for teleporter, and I think this is one of the better spots at the very beginning of the match. I think it's probably the best one, I think, in my opinion. If you do put it here, just make sure your turrets are like that to protect it. And also, don't put your teleporter here, because if you put it here, you enemies will be able to see it from over here. So if you put it over here in the doorway, it's more hidden. Alright, so one other thing I want to mention that in order to get up here, there's 2 ways to get up here. You would have to walk all the way through the building there, over the bridge, and then through here, and then out here. Or you can take a shortcut by down here, you can jump up here, all the way up here, and then you can jump from here to here. It's kind of a tight jump, but it's just watch this. Just like that. Yeah, so it is kind of a tight jump, but it can be done, and with enough practice, you can get more consistent at that jump. Alright, so right here, there's this ridge down here, and if you line up turrets here, this can be a very deadly trap, because enemies will have to like run off this little ledge here, and if you have like squishy heroes like Tracer or like Zenyatta, as soon as they run off here and before they even turn around, they're probably gonna die. So this can be a very deadly trap. You just gotta watch it for enemies coming through here and then firing at them from this direction. But still though, this can be very effective. Alright, so going in here, you can place some turrets like high up in here.
Online.
Maybe even one like down here like that. Over here, you can place some turrets like on the side here, and if you do this, you can then place like 2 over here, like that. Maybe even one in this bush kind of. Doing so prevents a pretty strong defense for any enemies walking right down in the center here. All the turrets will be able to attack them at once. Going over here, there's a little bush here you can put a turret in.
Sentry
you can put one like right here or something. There's some more bushes in here, but like I said, remember these bushes only appear. They do not appear on low model detail settings. So just letting you know that there's more of these bushes over here too. Alright, so going down in here, this is another potential spot for a teleporter at the very beginning of the match right here. If you do put it here, I recommend guarding this area. You can put turrets back here.
In place.
You can put some turrets on this ridge here. And if you do put turrets on this ridge here, it's usually wise to also put turrets over here as well. Doing so creates a more stronger defense. You have enemies walking down the middle here, and all 4 of those turrets will be able to attack them. If you stay here, you can guard your turret by just spamming orbs here, shielding allies as they come out of the teleporter. Another spot for a teleporter is kind of risky. Right here, back here behind this pillar. If you do that, you can place turrets in this room like this.
Turret in place.
Maybe a third one over here. There's this ridge up here. You can place turrets up here like this. This can be a pretty effective strategy. Enemies coming up the steps here will have to deal with a strong defense here. You can place turrets like along this little ridge here, and then like 2 over here.
Sentry deployed.
Maybe even like 2 above this door, like that. You can place like a turrets like in these little shelves things. You can put a turret back in here.
Defenses in
Going
place.
back down here, you got this little ridge up here that you can place turrets. Can be effective. You got this whole archway here. You can place turrets. A lot of different options for turrets here. Yeah. Alright, so in this rocks here, you have a lot of little nooks here that you can place turrets in. These nooks actually are pretty effective because this can be very annoying to the enemy to have to deal with turrets like this. On this nook, you can even place like 2 on this one. Over here, there's only like 1 option. You got like this little nook here. You could put like 2 in there, like that. This is a pretty effective strategy, just placing them in these rocks like that. You can kind of climb up here and like place a turret like up in there, or like back in here. Going up in here, you can guard this choke point here with some turrets above this door.
Turret in place.
Down in here, another potential spot for a teleporter is right behind this thing here. Not many enemies come back here, so you can place a teleporter like right here. If you do that, you can guard this area by even keeping those turrets over there or throwing some more like above this archway here. Got this ridge up here, you can throw some up there. That. Going in here, up in here, another potential spot for a teleporter right here. This is a very interesting spot. It's high up, it's not in this window here, so it's less shown. When allies get teleported out, they can simply just drop right down and get right back to the fight. You can place some sentry turrets like up here above the door, maybe even like one way up here in the corner. You gotta get these steps though. Yeah. Going on down here, another potential spot for teleporter is right here. I don't really recommend this spot, but this is a potential spot. I think the spot up there was a little bit better. If you do place it here, though, you can guard it with some sentry turrets, like right here.
Defenses in place.
Something like that. There's some nooks over here. You can place some turrets, like back in here. Something like that. Yeah.
Aligning defense system.
Yeah, so going up here. Going back up here, you can place it like a turret back here behind that box there in case an enemy comes jumping over that. One back here. Another spot for a teleporter right here. This is one of the better spots for the after the first checkpoint. Allies will be teleported right up here above the enemy, so that's one of the better spots after the first checkpoint. You can also place it on the other side like this. Like that. I notice it doesn't save a whole lot of walking distance, but this is a potential spot. Dropping on down here, you can place turrets like along this wall here.
Sentry turret placed.
And you can also place your teleporter right here as well. And if it's at the beginning of the match, you can also just place your teleporter like right here. If enemies are still like way over there. Alright, so moving into the next section. In here you can put some turrets up here above this door like this. Put some up here like that. Over here you can put some along this ridge. And if you do, you can put some over here on this ridge as well.
Turret deployed.
If you look straight up, you can jump up and put some up here. And kind of creates a pretty good defense around that door. Going back over here, you can put some turrets, like up here.
Turret online.
Put some back here behind this ridge here. Going in this door. If you put turrets at this height right here,
Defenses
it will
in
guard
place.
from enemies coming through that door or that door. Going on over here, you can place some turrets like over here, maybe one
Sentry
back
deployed.
here. Put some back over here like this. There's this ridge up here you can put some turrets at.
Sentry turret placed.
Like that. There's this little tiny ridge back here you can put some turrets in. Going in this
Turrets
room in
deployed.
here, you can guard both of these choke points here, the bottom one and the top one, by placing turrets like this. One up here, one over here, and like one,
Sentry deployed.
just another one in there. Something like that. It'll be able to guard both of those doors like that. Going in here, you can place turrets like on the side of this platform over here.
From light into being.
A little tricky. Can't do that. In this room here, you can place some turrets like on the sides
Aligning defense system.
to guard this little airplane ship here. Going up here, you can jump up here, and then from up here, you can jump on top of the ship by jumping right here. When you're up here, you can spam your orbs from down below. And also, this spot may be a spot you would think would be good for a teleporter, but the only problem with it is that it will be seen from enemies coming out of both of these doors here. So it's not really the best spot. A better spot would be like right over here, like right here. And the reason why is because it would only be shown from enemies coming through that door right there. And most enemies don't go through that door. That's like the least used door as enemies coming out of. So this could be a potential spot. Not the safest, but it can be a spot. Dropping on down here, you can place some turrets back here behind this ridge like that.
Sentry deployed.
You can place some up here. Enemies coming out the door there will take hit by the turrets. Also, if you place them like right here, not only will it hit enemies coming out through that door there, but also from enemies down below as well. And in this room, if you place turrets like on this height like that, it will hit enemies coming through either the bottom section or the top. Going on over here, you got this ridge back here, you can put some turrets.
Sentry turret placed.
There's a ridge over here. The ridge is over here. You can put some like one up there.
Turret
Also, this
in
is a
place.
spot for a teleporter right here. If you want a little bit of a safer spot, you can go back here and put it right there. Okay. You can place a turret back in there.
Deployed.
Going on over here, you got this ridge here. You can place turrets on this ridge here. It's a pretty good strategy. You got this back here. You can put some turrets back over here.
From light into being.
Spot for teleporter right here. It's doesn't save a whole lot of a walking distance, but this is a decent spot for this section. Going on over here, you can place some turrets over here, back behind this thing.
Sentry turret
And also, you
placed.
can get up here, down here, by climbing this thing here. Just like this. You should jump up here like that, jump up there, jump up here, then up here. From up here, you can place your teleporter right here, which is actually a pretty good spot, because when allies get teleported, they will be right up here. And they can either have the choice of going through over there in the ship or just dropping down below, or just staying up here to attack enemies from over here. Also, I wanted to mention that when you're right here and the payload is coming up that ramp there, you can fire orbs right underneath the payload, and it tends to be a pretty good strategy right here. Just fire right underneath the payload. Alright, so moving on to the next section. Okay, in this section you can put some turrets like up here like
Turret
this,
in
above
place.
this door right here. Over here at this main gate over here, you can line up. You can set up a pretty good turret defense like this. If you look straight up and then jump, you can place them up here. Yeah.
Defenses in place.
So this is a pretty solid defense like that. Alright, so you can put some back over here, back behind these crates here.
Turret deployed.
Going back over here, you can put some like back here like this. Going back further. If you place
From light into
some around in this area, you'll be alerted if enemies come through this this back way over here. You can place some turrets like that.
Sentry turret placed.
Back over here, you can place some turrets like on the side of this wall. Pretty good spots. Place them along this pipe here.
Aligning
Back behind this pipe like that. Back over here, you can place some in this room like that.
Turret
Something
online.
like that. Going into this next room, you can place some up here above this door like that. In this section here, you can place some on the side of this bridge here.
From light into being.
Tends to be pretty effective. And going on up here, this is a potential spot for a teleporter right here. It's not really the safest spot. I think there is some better spots, but this is a potential spot where a teleporter could be at. And also, you can put a teleporter right here as well. Probably a little bit less safer than the one over there, but this can be also another potential spot. Dropping down into this room over here, can secure it with some turrets above the door.
In place.
Maybe like some turrets back in here, back behind these pipes like that. Maybe one in the corner. All right, so going on over here. This is a potential spot for a teleporter right here. It's not too bad of a spot. Going up here, you can put some turrets above this door.
Sentry deployed.
And right here is a good spot to spam orbs. Good spot for spamming orbs. So right here is a good spot for a teleporter. It's probably one of the better spots for a teleporter at the end of the match, I think. The only bad part is some enemies can jump over these pipes here and we'll be able to flank the teleporter this way. Another spot for teleporters is just right down in here. You can throw some turrets along this back of this post here. If you do that, you can put some on this side over here. That tends to be a pretty good strategy like that. Going over here, you can place some turrets like down here. Also, another spot for a teleporter right here. And also, if you're in a hurry, you can put a teleporter right here. If you're like in a desperate hurry to get one out, you can put one right here. I know it doesn't save a whole lot of walking distance, but it can be enough to save the match. Another spot for teleporter is right back here behind this thing here like that. Alright, and that pretty much does it for defense on Watchpoint Gibraltar.